Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We're in the Witch City, Salem, Massachusetts. Like I told you, we're going all over the United States and all over the world. So, this is the Witch City. We're about to go on a bewitched historical tour. I don't know if we're allowed to film, but if we are, I'll try and take you on some of the, well, at least parts of it. You can see here. So we're in a nice little walkway here in Salem, Massachusetts. It's called the Witch City. You get a tattoo in Salem if you want. And we're about to go, like I said, on a historical bewitched tour. And they're gonna take us all around the city. It's like a night tour, so let's check it out in Salem, Massachusetts. We just bought some things from Bewitched in Salem, this little shop here, some crystals and stuff. But this is right across the street from where the tour is about to start. You can tell we're in Salem, Massachusetts. Where else are you gonna get witch teas? There's this lady. They have all these little statuettes all along the square, and there's the witch. His name is Jeff. He's gonna give us the tour. He's a certified male witch. Witch Mansion. It's coming up soon.
Another one just shouted 1692. All you can get. So don't worry if you are feeling a little low on this scale. How about in the back here?
It was 7-2.
7-2. So who went to the Witch Museum already? All right, I do like to tell people you can usually skip anything with the word witch in it. Not that they're bad, just they try to push you in and out in a very quick period of time, about a half hour or so, half of which is spent in the gift shop. I, of course, have you for the better part of 2 hours this evening, during which we are going to take a much deeper dive into this history. Now, fair warning, we're getting into some of the deep, dark details of the trials tonight. So some of these stops are going to get a little heavy and depressing. To keep that energy up, to make sure we all make it to the end, I'm going to be throwing in jokes now and again to lighten the mood. I like to think of myself as witty, but usually comes out sounding more like a dad joke. So please bear with me on that. And I know I've got dads out there. We're going to let them rest. I'm always looking for more material. And if you laugh, it goes a long way. All right, so just a bit of pre-history to this to really set the scene and get us all oriented with Salem before we take off. This is nothing new in the Americas. A lot of people come to Salem thinking it's unique to here, but prior to 1692, hundreds have been accused of witchcraft, 40 have been executed. Hartford, Connecticut, they've actually got 20 of their own. Difference being, it's 1 to 2 people spread out over years. Never were so many people targeted all at once. When these Salem witch trials are all said and done, over 200 find themselves accused. There's enough evidence to put 152 in jail. 19 people are hanged, a man is pressed to death, and at least 5 die in prison. All takes place over just 13 months, beginning to end, engulfs over 20 communities. It's why it's such a big deal. It's probably why y'all came to Salem, right? We're a witch city. Salem was founded in 1626 by Roger Conant and his group of settlers, and they were Puritans. Does anyone here know what Puritans got their name? Let's write the name.
Pure.
They're the purists, or at least they thought so. They thought too much Catholicism had made its way into that Anglican Church of England, decided to form a more pure version of Protestant, and were forced out of Europe because of it. It's your basic story of the Pilgrims we all learned. And when they come here, they kind of take all the fun out of Christianity. So, color clothing's outlawed. I'm gonna do a real quick check here. So if you're in black, you're doing pretty well. White was all right, gray, not bad. I'm looking for some purple here. Purple was reserved for royalty, and red was the devil's color. They hated it more than anything. Dancing is outlawed, music outside of church is outlawed. It's basically footloose here in Salem. Christmas and Easter outlawed. Anyone know why? Pagan holidays, Christmas trees and Easter bunnies. And what was that?
I guess it's
Yeah, a little, and yes, and too much celebration, actually, on top of that. Now, they come here over religious freedom, but for a long time in the Massachusetts Bay Colony, the only religion allowed is the Puritan religion. You want to be something else, it could mean a death sentence. Now, take Quakers, for example. First time a Quaker is found in Massachusetts, they're put on the back of a cart, brought to the border, whipped past every time they pass, to set an example. Hopefully that picture don't come back. A lot of people did come back though, try and take a stand. They find those whip marks on you, they're like to slice off one of your ears or brand a Q right in the middle of your forehead so you can be identified as a Quaker. And if you're found a third time, you've been warned twice already, they're going to execute you for it. So just keep in mind as we walk around tonight, this is how the Puritans were treating other Christians, let alone so-called witches. Now this religious intolerance, it goes on until Mary Dyer was executed in Boston for being a Quaker. He's actually the third cousin of the king. When he finds this out, he's not very happy. He makes religious persecution illegal in the colonies. And if we fast forward 30 years, 1692, part of what's happening here in Salem, Boston now has 5 different churches. Now why is that significant? I want you all to think of Salem the way the Puritans did when they came here. They thought this was their mission from God, their city upon a hill, their Puritan experiment. And now, Puritanism is on the decline. They think they're under attack. A lot of religious fanaticism and superstition to set the scene. Now, in addition to all this, when the first Puritans arrived, they thought they were working with a clean slate. God's not angry at them for anything, so if they worship him correctly, he should bestow prosperity upon them. Not really how the weather works out here. My New Englanders, you know this. The first few rounds of settlers, 50% die off each winter. They're coming off a mini ice age, droughts every other year. And in 1692, questions before we head out? Wonderful. I don't like questions at all. In fact, I encourage them. But if you do have something that will be revealed later on, I'm just going to say spoiler alert and leave it at that. And I ask that you hold questions for any stops. If I do get interrupted, it's okay, but I may stumble a bit and it's going to be painful for all of us. And a quick note on our sources, just so you know where a lot of the info is coming from. If you want to go through some of these documents with your very own eyes after the tour, head on over to our Facebook page. At the very top of Bewitched After Dark, we've got a link. It's going to take you right to the court documents. Arrest warrants, death warrants, the court questioning, all been digitized by the University of Virginia, free and open to the public. Same site also has old maps of Salem. They're repairing it at the moment, but usually we have water cascading on this structure behind me. Now, does anyone want to venture a guess as to what this structure here may represent? The gallows, where
they got him. No wonder why you fell.
It's actually a Chinese archway meant to represent the gates to the east. Salem was the first in the nation to open up trading with China, and at the city's peak, they were the second busiest seaport. A lot of people come to Salem thinking they're just going to learn about the witch trials, but remember, that's just 13 months of our history. Got a lot more to us than that. So this is a Chinese archway. This is this. A map of Salem. We are standing on. So this is our city here. You'll see there's 2 levels. Top level, what it looked like when the first settlers arrived, about what it looked like during the witch trials. And second level, what it looks like in modern day with all the landfill. Much like Boston, to accommodate that growing population, expanding seaport, had to fill in lots of land. And of course, some filled in naturally over time. You'll see Salem has 2 rivers running right through it. North River on my right here, almost filled in. South River there, completely filled in. Out to my left, we've got Derby Wharf. It's this piece that jets out. It extends a 1/4 mile out into the ocean with a lighthouse at the end, meant to represent Salem during those busy seaport days. If you went down to our harbor, you may have walked out on the real thing. At one point, Salem had about 150 docks and wharves all over the coastline. Are you getting this? You want to raise your hand for me? So that is the foot of Gallows Hill, where they do hang the accused. And in 1914, a great fire will start there, burns 1/3 of Salem, displacing 20,000 residents. 3 folks are okay. Shows right side of the river. You don't have to find a new place to live. The Great Depression sets in shortly thereafter, and it won't be until about the 1970s Salem finally starts coming back as a city. It's when they start painting witches on everything. Believe it or not, tourism is what brought us back. So thank you guys for joining us. You are in part what keeps the city so beautiful. Now right here is where we are. This is downtown. Downtown's about 5 blocks wide. We're going to walk about 3 of those blocks tonight, get a really good lay of the land, give you